Somebody asked if Mark was still part of the channel.
We asked the same question. Numerous times.
I guess I won't need these.
Okay. So, in the Disney era, we had Bob Chapek take over. And everyone complained that Bob Chapek is not good with talent. And the movies are starting to be horrible. They're penny pinching all during the pandemic. Then Bob Iger came back. I'm coming back for a year, and I'm going to find a new guy, and I'm going to bring him in. So I'm back for 1 year. I'm going to help the company survive. Well, Bob Iger has now signed a new 3-year term back at Disney. He's not going anywhere, folks. So we have Star Wars in turmoil. Marvel's not doing great right now. Pixar's in trouble. Their last 2 movies have lost money. And their animated studio has put out 2 horrible movies back to back that have not made money as well. Now, besides, automatically, people are going to say, well, yeah, they've gone woke, they've put in too much, of their political views in the movie, that's why they're not doing well. Can you think of any other reason and what Bob Iger can do to change things and make Disney profitable again?
Okay, well...
Like, is it only their wokeness?
Well, there are considerations, because there could be, like, an agenda behind this to sink the stock price of Disney so that they could sell it off. Like, people are expecting Apple to buy it within 3 years. So if you become suddenly profitable and your share price skyrockets, Apple's not going to be happy to pay...
Except their stock is at half of what it was just 2 years ago. Half.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with Bob Iger coming in. It started sinking before he ever came in. And if you're a shareholder and you're going to their shareholder meetings and everything, and you're wanting, hey, how come I'm losing money on my stock? You got to be demanding an answer. And it can't be, well, we're hoping to sell. Because who are you going to sell it to? You're going to have to divide. You can divide up Disney. But I mean, who wants to buy Star Wars right now that's worth nothing? Who wants to buy, Pixar, who hasn't had a hit in a while? Who wants to buy the animated studios? Who wants to buy any of this because they have a bad reputation now? That's not a good strategy. So I don't think that's actually the plan.
Okay, so the ultimate question is, what do I think Disney can do to become profitable again?
A couple things. Yeah, is there anything that they can do? Yeah.
Okay, I think what they need to do is get back to basics and focus on animation that is not about cultures or skin color or gender or anything like that. It has to be about something cartoony, cars, toys, something that you can't associate with woke messaging. They have to get rid of that, because half of the population will annihilate that movie by not seeing it because they're so against the woke stuff.
Yep.
So right there, you can double your population, double your audience if you just get rid of that and have about bugs or tables, or just have a cartoon with good music that you can't associate with any kind of social messaging.
Okay. I think another thing they can do is stop going so wildly over budget on everything. Indiana Jones, $325 million. Elementals, $200 million. Lightyear, $210 million to make those movies. And they all bombed. How is it that expensive to make those movies? It's just, like, it's nuts. Everything, okay. Special effects.
Okay, I'm just going to research something here, so I'm going to cut it. Okay, so I just looked up Maverick, one of the most successful films of, was it last year? Okay, $170 million.
Action movie. With practical effects and jets and everything.
Made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And what was Elementals?
Elementals was $200 million.
200 million. Like 30 million more.
Yeah. And to make an animated movie. With computers.
That fails. They knew it. They had to know it was going to fail. They had to know. Because it was getting very bad buzz even once the trailer dropped.
It had no buzz whatsoever. That's the problem. So I think they got to really tighten their belts and get back to budgets. Because for a while there, they could put out anything and it would just hit. Here we go. Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4. It's going to make $1 billion, no problem. Well, guess what? Bob Iger has now come out, and he's come out with a few things that they're planning to do to right the ship now that he's back in charge again for 3 more years. One of those things is they got to go back to their classic animations.
Yes.
Except, nothing new. They're going to go back to Toy Story 5. They're going to go back to Incredibles 3. They're going to go back to Cars 4.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he actually said that.
Well, he's a moron.
They're making Toy Story 5 already. And then he said, and then we got to go back to Marvel. We know Marvel is struggling right now. So we got to get back to classics like the Avengers. I went, oh. And we're going to go back to the Avengers with an all-new Avengers team. An all-new Avengers team. So Iron Man.
It took them 20 years to build the last team.
Yeah. And I understand that they were too old to play the role now. In a lot of the cases. And you kind of ended that series. Doesn't mean you can't go back and reboot certain characters. Some characters are still old enough to continue those characters along, like Thor, right? He could continue doing that. But they're going to make an all-new Avengers cast.
Nobody cares.
And no one likes any of the characters they've created.
No, okay, the reason why those Avengers were the Avengers, because those were the superheroes that people liked.
Yeah.
The reason the other ones are B-list, C-list, D-list is because people didn't like them.
No, or they were add-on characters. Supplemental characters to help move the story along for the main characters. They're like sidekicks. Riri Williams is not a main character. Falcon, perfect example. Falcon's not a main Avenger. He's part of the Avenger team, but he's not the main guys, right? There's the main 5 there. But now they're going to come out with the Falcon. Captain America 4, I guess it is it? 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anyone who's really that thrilled about cares about this movie coming out. That's in production. Especially because they've been ruining everything on Disney+.
Well, you said go back to acceptable budgets.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're doing on Disney+. They're putting out these marquee IPs, but they're not putting in movie budgets. Oh. So it's going to suck.
Well, I know, because I don't know if it was Ahsoka or the Acolyte. I think it's the Acolyte. Supposed to have cost them $320 million to make. Like 8 episodes.
They have to be deliberately tanking so that they could do tax write-offs or something.
I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something terrible. So here's the thing. Go back to characters that people like. Maybe if you want to sell something, sell Disney Plus. Because ever since you brought Disney Plus out, it's been ruining your studio.
No. Don't go back to characters people like. Make new stuff.
Okay, but if
you know why people love Toy Story? Because people didn't know Woody.
Well, unfortunately, Toy Story 4 made even more than Toy Story 1. That's kind of the trouble with them, because they're sequel-itis with Disney.
And it was arguably the worst movie that they ever put out. And are you going to set fire to your company because one movie made money?
Here you go. You say bring something else new. Strange World. They brought out a whole new thing.
But they also had the social messaging in it.
That's the thing. They can't do both. They can't do both. They got to get rid of it, cut their budgets, and I'm okay with them selling Disney Plus because it's costing them $4 billion a quarter in losses for Disney Plus.
Just so people can complain about them.
Yeah. And now they're spending all their money on these series that no one watches. No one watches.
You want to know what the solution is? Hire Tom Cruise. Hire Tom Cruise. He doesn't make movies that are crap with social messaging. He just makes movies that are fun, that make money.
The fans want to watch.
Yeah. If it's going to be an action movie, that's what you get.
Yeah.
With a lot of cool stuff in it.
He's had bad movies. He's done The Mummy. The Mummy was not a good movie. But it's not because of anything wrong. Like, it was just a bad script. Right? It was a wrong take on the series. They tried to do a monster universe. Which, hey, make it a successful movie and then create a monster. But, yeah, Disney's in trouble right now. I don't think Bob Iger has any answers from what I've heard him talking about lately.
Gotta be something. There has to be some kind of weird financial agenda because nobody could be that stupid.
Although, Bob Iger, when he bought Fox, ended up paying $20 billion too much for it because of his ego. This is going to be good for us. We're going to need it. He paid $20 billion more. The other guys just kept raising the price because they knew he was going to keep bidding. And they ended up spending $20 billion more than they needed to because of his ego. And if you come up and say, hey, Bob, do you think Disney Plus is working? Of course it's working. It was my idea. Of course it's working. It's great. They no longer have money from Netflix coming in from all their series. They're wasting $4 billion a quarter. And no one likes their shows anymore because it's too many shows about the same characters, movies and TV series, all in the same year. No one wants to watch them anymore. You've got to go back to 2 movies a year, no shows. And if you want to put shows out, don't put light-hearted comedies out there. Make movies like they did on DC when they put it on Netflix and put out Black Lightning and they put out The Flash. Those series worked because they had some comedy with dramaticness in it. You just 8 episodes of spoof and stupidity in a lot of cases.
Well, you said that we should watch one more of Secret Invasion. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
And now there's 2. And I still haven't watched it. And because I have no interest anymore. I looked at the first 2 episodes, I went, I don't care. I don't care. This should have been a movie. This could have been a good action movie. But no. And again, they've changed the character that I didn't like now. They've made him all depressed and stuff. Because that's what Disney does on every single character. That's the only mindset. If you have a classic character, you got to make him miserable, old, and down on himself. They did it with Indy, they did it with Star Wars Luke Skywalker, and now they did it with Marvel. Congratulations, Disney. You did it. You made us bored with your stuff. And I don't think Bob Iger is the answer.